And that's why we're trying to make this content too, though, because like people don't fucking talk about this shit.
Like the growing pains.
Well, I mean, just like really, really stupid stuff. They say just how to get your first deal is like generally the content, and then everybody, and then it goes into coaching, right? It's like there is no like semi in between. Like like we both offer.
You kind of coach them, but at the same time,
like you can listen to this podcast. And I promise you, like you'll
give value. Everyone talks about giving value. Like that's what content is. Content is giving people free value, and giving them free game on. It's low key coaching.
Yeah, because like that's
and
valuable.
When you start wanting more of my time is when it turns into coaching. If you want your handheld at that point.
Exactly. But like me saying, go do this, this, and this, that's a lot of value that people fucking pay me for anyways.
Yeah.
Right? But like that is something that if you listen to this and you implement it immediately, I promise you'll be better off.
Yeah.
You may not be making as much money at the beginning, but like cool, generally whenever I'm starting a business, everybody makes more money than I do for like a year and some change. Like I don't really even make any money.
Yeah.
And then once the business stabilizes and it's good, okay, now I can start making my money.
Yeah.
But then even now, like when we hire on sales reps, your sales reps will probably make more money than you for a while too. Like as you start getting into like real business, I don't know, multiply your efforts as soon as possible. Just with how hyper competitive the market is right now, you just need to be in front of as many bodies as you humanly can.
You know, I think speaking on this market, because it's funny because it's a conversation I kind of had even with myself when you start to notice any type of slowdown or just you start to notice a little bit more resistance kind of where you're going, and you got to kind of think about like, why is this happening? And you start to, before you start having like a pity party, right? You start thinking, okay, this person's still being able to do stuff. This person's still getting stuff done. So it's just me, right? And so that's how it was for a while. But then you got to kind of dig deeper. And we always talk about being good at something, you know, because what ends up happening is if you look at a lot of people who still are moving and going right now, a lot of it is pipeline stuff. A lot of it is long-term marketing stuff that they've been doing. Niche stuff, whether it be probates, whether it be pre-foreclosures, trustee sales, stuff like that. They've just done it so consistently for so long.
You have an actual pipeline.
You have an actual pipeline. And so when times get tough, it looks like they're still rolling because they did the work ahead of time.
That's what,
You know what I mean? Whereas if like in my company, we're doing a lot of cold calling. And I'm kind of like, fuck, who's having a lot of success right now cold calling? Right? You know what I mean? It's there.
No, like, I mean, people
but it's pretty fucking tough right now, cold calling. You know what I mean?
People have success from it, but like, again, bro, like you're going to be talking to these people for years.
Like,
because like you'll talk to, I remember talking to leads that were deals immediately, but then you're fucking just kicking the ball forward.
I had a lead come in yesterday. Not even a lead. I had a lady give me a call back. I've been trying to reach her since the end of December. Right? And she's been going back and forth on it. Kind of like, oh, you know, she's not really trying to make the commitment. We knew it was a long time nurture type thing. She'd been trying to reach me. We've been touching her from both ends, from two different companies, being a partner. We've been touching back and forth with her. And she asked me kind of what was it that I had offered previously. Told her what that was. She's like, that's good for me. And I was kind of stumped. I was kind of like, whoa, okay. You know, I'm like, so, you know, is this something that you were looking to move forward with? And she's like, you know, yeah, it's time. And so instead of jumping on that, I was just like, you know, I'm kind of confused. I was like, you know, you mind me asking, you know, what's changed in between last time I spoke to you and now? Because previously when we talk about this, I met with a lot of resistance or just a lot of reasons to why you're not ready to move forward. Instead of just like, okay, cool, let's, you know, I just kind of asked her that question. And she's just like, you know, there was an event that happened in her life. And she's like, I feel like a lot of things are just kind of up in the air and just a lot kind of going on, a lot of things that just aren't settled that I'm ready to settle. And she's like, and I've been trying to get a hold of you. I've been pushing people off, you know what I mean? She's like, my son asked me, you know, hey mom, you know, you've been saying you want to do this, this, and this. Like, you know, you need to, you know, do this. And she's like, I already know who I'm gonna sell it to. She was like, I just got to find him. He's like, what you mean you just got to find him? She's like, well, you just go handle that. I'm gonna handle this. You know what I mean? That's what she told him. You know what I mean? But like, she wouldn't sell it to no one but me because I've spoke to her for so long that, you know, it really came down to a relationship.
Bro, that's really what like pays off.
But that was we've been talking to this lady for like about a year and a half, maybe almost 2 years.
And that's what it's.
So people that are doing deals right now, a lot of it is long-term pipeline type stuff that's closing. So don't get discouraged if you're cold calling out there and you're not seeing instant success or, you know, whatever it may be, because I'm going to say it from my point of view. It is tough right now. It is tough right now if you're just getting going, but just keep going, because it's going to be tougher for someone else later on down the road. And it's going to look like you're doing so great, but it's going to be because you've built that pipeline.
The people will get going, stop. Because we even tell our clients, bro, like, this can take you 90 to 180 days to like close one of these.
Yeah.
Like, because we're cold calling and verifying, but it's not cold calling. It's cold calling, bro. It's not like
we're just
super
getting
hot
leads.
Yeah, like we're
prospecting.
We're prospecting, generate you leads, and then we can help you build other systems to like build it out better. But like, bro, like, you got 90 to 180 days.
Yeah.
This is what I say. Like, if you can get it done sooner, awesome. Like, I'm not going to set bad expectations.
Yeah.
But I mean, cold calling, I'd say, has a really long turnover time. Direct mail has a really long. Well, direct mail to get a return has a long turnover time, but when the leads come in, they're hotter.
They're typically hot.
Right?
Yeah.
They're hotter.
It may be a while for you to hear from them, but they're like, yeah, I had your postcard. It was sitting right here. I've had it sitting on my refrigerator. You know, posted on my refrigerator. You know, it stood out to me a little bit. You know what I mean? And now's the time. You're like, oh shit! All right, well, what's the time? Let's go. You know what I mean?
And then PPC, we're starting a PPC this week.
Okay,
that'll be I think that'd be good, because it's right now money. Because I think you need to have a mix.
Yeah,
I think you need to have a mix.
And it gets tough too, because we were dabbling with something else too, and so it's one of those things where sometimes they're courses. You know what I mean? And so you got to take your attention off some stuff sometimes to sit through these courses. And I know that's something that you could possibly do in the nighttime. But the problem is, for one of them that I'm doing, I got to communicate with people.
That's a really hard one.
To be able to get things done. And that's typically during our business hours. So it's like I can go through the course at night, but the stuff that I need to be requesting to move forward is during working hours.
Can you do it via email or no?
It's all via email, but at that point, it's looking at what they're sending. It's, analyzing it. So I mean, it could be something that I can have a VA do. To be honest with you,
right? Like it may be just like, hey, do this. Here's the back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
Generally, at this point,
but that's a relationship that you got to have with the people, because you eventually got to go in and negotiate with them.
Yeah, I mean, you can read through it, and then when you have to go in and negotiate, then you're like, yeah, we've been talking to you forever. You're still reading the emails just because you aren't writing them.
Yeah, you're right.
Right? It doesn't mean it's the end of the world.